Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Guys, you're welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about how to automate the onboarding process, and I'll give us a short term of onboarding. Now, some might be wondering what onboarding is, but if you're in IT already, I know you should know about, or you should know the meaning of onboarding. Onboarding is just when the user wants to a new hire, a new person is coming into the organization, the HR sends the email address. No, not necessarily send the email address. The HR send the name of the user and send the role of the user and tell you that, send it to the IT that, okay, create a username for this person, set up a laptop for this person, and give the person the necessary access and all that. So we're going to be doing a little bit, and that can be stressful if it's something you're doing over and over again. In IT, what we are looking for is to automate recurring tasks, the tasks that we do over and over again. Imagine today they hire this person, I have to setting up their laptop is not really an issue, but then I have to like create the user, assign license to the user, put the user in this group and all that. So it's a little bit tiring when you're doing it, and in an organization that they're always recruiting, you find it tiring that you have to do the same process each and every day. So instead of doing the same process each and every day, you could just you're going to be using Power Automate to automate the process. Note that you can also use PowerShell to do this. And if you've been following me on LinkedIn, you'll be following my LinkedIn page, I actually did two Power Automate process of onboarding. One was with the Microsoft list, another was with the Microsoft form. And in the Microsoft form, which is a little much longer, it went ahead to send an email to the manager with the new user contact and the password, so the manager can handle that process. It doesn't really have to come to the IT. So the only thing the IT is doing is just setting up the laptop, and that's just it. So it's even the HR that filled the form from start, and once the HR filled the form, the Power Automate takes it from there. So today I'm not going to be showing us the very long process. I'll probably put it in my GitHub page. Although the project I'll be showing us today, I did it with the Microsoft list, which is up on my GitHub page, and I also posted that on LinkedIn if you're following me on LinkedIn. The longer process, which is I've not had the time to create a repository on GitHub and publish that, but I'll be doing that soon enough, probably before this month end. We're currently in May. Before May end, I will be doing that, and you can follow the step-by-step process on how to achieve that. It's a little bit long, but then it's just a one-time thing. You don't have to do it over and over again in the organization. And for the PowerShell part, I've not gotten my hands on doing that. I'm trying to do this for an hybrid environment. So currently this can be used for cloud environments, but not for hybrid. It can be used for hybrid, yeah, but that means you have to like maybe just create the same user on your enterprise tenant. Anyways, I think I've used so much time to speak about this, so we're just going to go directly into it. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a security group. So I'm going to go to Exchange. So you might be asking me why I'm creating a security group. I could create a security group, I could create a dynamic group. Dynamic requires some kind of much higher license, and that's why I'm not creating a dynamic group. So if you're using the business standard, the business basic, you can actually just do the security group and you'll be fine. So I'm going to create a security group, and I'll add some users to the groups and assign license to that group, so that any person I'm onboarding, the person would go into the security group. So we can also do this here. You also do this here. You come to active teams and group. Active teams and groups. You can also do this from the identity. So it depends on whichever way you want, or whichever one you want. So let's come to the overview. This is identity. And let's say I want a new group. I'll just click on new groups. And the group type, I want a security group. So I feel like just come to the intro to create this, because the Exchange is giving me mail enabled security group. So come here, I would say this is employee group. So no owners. I'll just click on create. Successfully create the group. I would cancel this since I created that in Entra. And like I said, you can create this also in the admin center. Can you see? Security group, add a security group. You can do this basically from anywhere. Now I should be seeing that group I just created here. Let me see employee group. I created it on cloud. All these others are on-prem. So if you see this status, it's telling you that this are all created on-prem, while this is on cloud. So if I come to my Exchange, let me refresh this. I'm trying to let us see the group here. While this is coming up, this is also coming up. Okay, so I'll just go to, this is it, the employee group, and then I would put in some users. Let me see the user that do not have a license here. I'm going to go back to the M365 admin center. I see that, okay, currently I do not have business premium. What I have is Office 365 E3, and I think I give that to 3 people, yeah. 3 people, the admin and all that. So I'm going to add the people that do not have the Office 365, like Yomi, Toby, who else? Sarah. I'm going to have people inside that employee group, and once I had them, I'm going to assign a group, a license to that group. So for members here, so can you see the add members? I'm going to try and add members, and I remember those I said I wanted to add. I'll just go back here and check. So I said Ben, although I'll need to remove the business premium from Ben so that there won't be a conflicting license issue. So I'm just going to remove this from Ben. Save changes. So Ben has no license. Ben is currently on license. I'll go back to Entra. I'll pick Ben. Then I think David doesn't have a license. Okay, David has one. There's another person, David Steven, Olamide, and Sarah. So I think I'll just pick David Steven. Where is Olamide? Okay, Olamide and Sarah. So note that what we are doing in this video, I'm also showing you guys how to assign license to a group, which I feel like it's the most easiest way to assign license. Alright, so these are the members of the group, of the employee group. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back to the admin center. Note that I can also do this in the Entra admin center, right? I come to billing, I come to licenses. I'm just so used to using the Microsoft 365. Yeah, so I'll go back to what I'm used to. I'll come to billing here. I'll come to licenses here. This is just stripping. Okay. So if I come to licenses here, I'll click on Office 365, which are the two. I just have this. This is always free. I'll click on Office 365 E3. So I'm using my account to come in here. It has to, it redirected me to okay. So now I'm just going to assign. I'll click on the assign license. Then I will now search for the group I want to have, and the group name is employee group, right? So there are 4 users in that group. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on assign license. So employee group now has a license. We're going to refresh this. Then we're going to go and check those users. Come back to users, come to active users. So you have to give this some second before the license actually reflect on these users. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh, and if it doesn't come up, we're going to go ahead and start doing the other things. Now note that once the user has been added to that group, any other group, let me come back to billing. Go back to license. Any other user you're adding to that group, the license is given to that user, because now the group is the one that has that license, right? So the group is the one that has this license. Now you can see it says 7 has been assigned. That means 1, 2, 3, then the 4 inside this place, making 7. Now the employee group is the one that has the license. So any user you're removing from that group will be on license. Any user you're adding to the group will be licensed automatically since that group has the license title. I'm trying to look for a simpler word to use. Let's say, okay, I think if you understand that, I was thinking of using sons and daughters to like explain that, like it's just like a family has a name. Yes, I think that would be a better explanation, or The family has a name. Let's say the name, your son name is Sheraton, right? So as long as you're in that family, you have the Sheraton title. But by the time you decide to leave the family, for a lady, by the time you decide to leave the family, you can go ahead to another family and then you take the another family title. That means you are leaving the title behind and you're going out of the title. So it's just like as if prodigal son goes away. So that's how the employee group is like. It's a group and a license is attached to that group. So anything you're bringing into that group automatically has the license. Like anybody that is entering into the organization automatically has the email address of the organization. If you're leaving, that means bye bye. Leave our email address and be going. So that's just how it is. So now that we are done with this, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and create a Microsoft form. These are just saying dots because I usually just purchased my license on Wednesday. It seems I'm not seeing form here. Okay, let me try and search. Okay, this is its forms. I'm gonna use this. If you check my GitHub page, you would see that I pasted this in my GitHub page. This is just like a step by step, just that this one was using the SharePoint list. So I'm going to be using this title for this to do it. So it asks me, welcome to Microsoft Form, choose a scenario and whatever. I'd go back, I don't want that. I really don't know why everything is slow. So slow. So slow. Okay, I'll just open another one. I'll click on registration. Okay, so give it a title. I really don't know exactly what I'm going to give it. Let me just say employee onboarding. I'll just leave this and quick start with that would be text. And what do I want? I think I copied that. I want the first name, first name, enter your answer. This is always required. And had a new question, still text. I want the last name. Sorry. Last name. It's also required. Then, what else do I want? Let me see. I want the department, user. Okay. Department. Required. What else? What else is there? Job role, manager, and start date. So we're gonna put that there. What's the person job role? Because it's a job role that would actually require you to know the access you're going to give the user, the incoming user. Start date. Okay, and I want that. Oh. Sorry. I think I'll delete this. So admin, this should be date and start date or error. So I think that's it for me. Yeah. So you could go ahead and put all other things like what is the desired email address. But for like my own organization, you have an address format. Some organizations have an address format. You could see maybe this at this.com, or it might just be the first letter, the last letter, something like that. So you could add other things. You could decide that you want to add hardware requirements. What kind of hardware would they be using? Do their role need a mouse? Do their role need a LAN adapter? Do their role need different kind of thing like that? You could add it to it. But I'm just going to stop here for now. So the next thing I'm just going to do is I will click on collect responses, and I might specify people that should collect response. I want the HR should have access to this, and it's just the HR for me. So it's just the HR for me. So I could decide that okay, specific people in Ghost Treasure can respond. People like let me just put my own email ID. Since I do not have, what should happen then? I don't have an HR for now. I'm just going to put myself. So I will click on send. Send to Jamie. and that's just it. So this is the URL. You could copy the link and send to them and all that. So remember what we put here. This is just a short form. If you decide you want this to be long, maybe you want to mirror the assets of another user in the organization, you want to know the business system access or any other thing. I'm just going to add one more question here, like is there anything else we should know about this user? So is there anything else you should know about this user? And that's it. Go ahead. Okay, that's it. So I'm just gonna do the preview. I think to go and submit this form. The owner will see your name and first name, last name, department, the job role, who is the manager, the start date, and is there anything else you will need to know? And this is how it looks on the mobile version. If you wanna go, so I'll just go back. The next page I'm going to go to is the Power Automate. Before going there, okay, now can you see that this Office 365 E3 has been assigned to Ben, it has been assigned to David Stephen, to Olamide, and I think Sarah was the last person. Sarah. So now they have the Office 365 E3. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Power Automate, and it's right here. Let's wait for this while it loads. This is really slow. Let's wait this while it loads. But the thing about the Power Automate is we are not even the one creating the user. Once the HR has filled this form, and submitted the form, the Power Automate picks this and run, right? So we really do not have to do anything. We don't have to do anything. The moment we just see that email, we allow the Power Automate to do its thing. And once the Power Automate do its thing, the only thing you're left to do is just set up the PC for the user. And I really don't think there's an automation in setting up the PC for the user. Like you have to do that yourself rather. So I'm gonna click on automated cloud flow, flow name. I will just still put onboarding. And then can you see when a new response is submitted, and that's what we're picking. We're going to click on create. I think it's my network. It's just really slow. And please ignore this activate windows you're seeing here. It's just really slow. Okay, now click on please validate your connection. So this just asks to connect to my admin center. So just click on sign in. This is slow, very slow. Okay, let's just refresh this page. Click on this again. I'll just click on this. Okay, so it's connected now. Timmy as treasures.org. So it says pick the form, and the only form I've created is the employee onboarding, which is stated there. So I'm just going to click on that, and so when a new response is submitted, which is we're picking the form ID, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add an action. Just click on the plus sign here. I don't know why this is slow. Okay, came out now. So you want to say get response, you're gonna go scroll down to form, click form details, get response details. You click on that get response details. Now form ID is employee onboarding. Response ID. Now note that in this response ID we have the dynamic expression, and then we have the function. just click on this. Can you see insert dynamic context and insert expression? I'm not going to go to the dynamic whatever, and I'll click on response ID, right? So once this is done, like I said, this is going to be very short. We're getting response details, and we might experience some errors, but we're going to be showing us how to resolve those errors. We're going to be taking it step by step. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click I'll type in create user. And that should be Entra. Okay. Microsoft Entra ID. You see create user. It's telling me to sign in again. Just go ahead and do that. Yeah, this is me. Yeah. So let's hold on while it's signing in and all that. Okay, so account enabled, yes, it's true. Then display name. Just gonna click on this, and we're going to insert an expression here. Now, if you don't know what to put here, you can Google about this, or you can still find your way to my GitHub repository. I'm going to be dropping that GitHub repository in the video link, or in the comment section, rather, in the comment section, so you can know what to put here, right? So the display name, I want it to be something like maybe CO something at domain.com, stuff like that. So I'm gonna come here and okay, I'm gonna select it. Second, yeah, this. I'm gonna select this. The display name. Sorry. Okay, again. Okay, then I'm gonna go back to that form. Right at the Power Automate rather. I'm going to, where is it? I'm just going to do Ctrl V. Then I'll click on add. For the mail nickname, I'm going to do the same thing. So find your way here, mail nickname, then copy this, copy, and I'll come back to Power Automate, expression, and I'm just gonna do Ctrl V, click on hard. This expression has a problem. You see. What size is 2000? Alright, let's check. Oh, we didn't copy everything. Can you see? It's a lot longer than that. So I'm just going to copy, and then I'll come here and do Ctrl V. So to lower, replace, concat, if empty, trim the string, output, get item. And if you're not really what's it called, a code person, you can just check the meaning of that with AI, and that's it. So for the password, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, password is my choice. So password make a list. Password is my choice. So I'll just do the PRSSWORD, and that's it. And then for the UPN, I would do this, copy this, and copy. Okay, so it looks like this. It's a principal name. Oh, I even did the same thing here. So this is expression, insert expression. I'm going to paste this here. I'll click on that. Given name, I'm just going to leave that. Surname, I'm going to leave that. Advanced parameter has, I think I'm going to leave that too. I'm going to leave that. So that's just it. The UPN, the password, mail nickname, the display name, the account is enabled, yes, and that's it here. So when a new response is submitted, I get the response details, create user. Then the next thing I'm going to do is just the group based licensing. So that's add user to a group. And that would be Entra. The funny thing is you could just do enter here instead of what I'm doing. You just do enter. You're gonna see yeah, you can see lots of options here. Create user, get group, add user to group. You can get group members, get group details. Click on see more, you're gonna see everything. Add user to a group, assign manager. You want to assign the user to a manager. Assign manager, remove member from a group, which this one will be part of the onboarding process, which I'll be doing another time, another video. Update user, refresh token, get group of the user, get blah 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 blah. What I want to do is add user to a group. Here, a unique identifier for the user. Click on that. And for the group ID, you will have to copy the group unique identifier of a group, the group ID. So let's go back to this group here. I'm just going to go back up, click on groups from the Enter Admin Center, click on all groups, and go to the employee group. It has even shown us the object ID there. So what we are copying is object ID, and then we're going back here and we're going to paste that in here. Okay, it's just like sit here, object ID of the group. So all you have to do is just follow this, which I'll be dropping, and then this is like the basic thing you need to do. Look at this is just for when a new response is submitted, you get response details, create user, you add user to your group, and that's done. So with this small automation, what you've been able to do is create the user on the Microsoft Admin Center, give the user licenses, you can add the user to a group. Not that this add the user to a group, you could do this multiple times if the user is to be in more than one group. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to save first. Please don't forget to save. I'm supposed to be saving at any point in time. Okay, now it tells me that the input of action, create user, contain an invalid get item. Correct to include a valid reference to get item for the input parameter. So let's go back to create user. Let's see this. So this get item is not the one that's supposed to be there, right? Let's go back, because this is a form. And say when a new response is submitted, it's supposed to be get response details, not get item. So we're going to go back to this, and we're going to do, I remember this is get underscore item, why this is get response details. Details. I'm just gonna copy this, response details, and put it here. Oops. What's this? Oops. Okay, get response details, updates. I'll check this to is it get item. Yeah, I'm gonna, oh, it's even plenty here. So I'm just gonna remove this and paste right here. I didn't copy it well. Okay, same thing for here. Same thing for here. Same thing for here. And updates. Let's see this. So plenty here. Okay, so I think, and this should be my domain, which is treasures.org.ng. Let's try and save that again and see if you have any error. Okay, so that is saved, and it says your flow is ready to go. So you can check for those minor details, because this was done by me for another organization, for another tenant, and I just put in the log in here. So you can check these minor details. Oh, this was a list, so you had this compose. This wasn't like a Microsoft form that I created. This was for a Microsoft a SharePoint list. So that was what I did for this organization. But I'm doing this test, which is easy. It's also straightforward when you're using a list. But I wanted to do this using a Microsoft form. So it depends on whichever one you like. So I'm going to test this. I'm going to test this flow and perform the starting action to trigger it. So before I click on test, I'll go to that form. So I'm just going to close this. I'm not sure if I copied the form before. I did not. It's okay. So let me go to my Outlook. Okay. So I'll click on start now. So it's like let's say I'm the HR and I have a new user in my organization. Let's say the new username is Jack and his last name is Candice. Jack Candice. So his department will be part of the finance team, and his job role probably would just be an accountant, and his manager is let's say I'm still his manager, and input date, the start date will be, let's say, on Monday, which is what? Is there anything? I have nothing new, and I submit this form. Now I would go back to Power Automate and click on test. Okay, now there's a bad request. It said actual create user field. The domain portion of the user principal property name is invalid. You must use one of the verified domain names in your organization. So let's come back here and see the outputs. Okay, let's see. I think there's a domain name that doesn't match here. treasures.org.ng. Okay, so we're gonna edit this. I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate this. And I'll edit this. So the issue came from the create user, and I think it came for a UPN. Also, let's see what could be wrong. At treasures.org.ng and update this. And I'll just close this and refresh. So I'll just test this. Okay, now I can test with my recently used trigger that failed 3 minutes ago. So I'll just click on save and test. Okay, so it went through. You can see that a new response was submitted. That response, it created the user, and then it had user to a group. So you might experience some errors like this. You just have to read through what the meaning of the error is. So now, since this is done, we're going to come back to the admin center. I'm going to refresh and check for Jack. Funny enough, it created a new user. Can you see? User u.user. It created a new user, but it didn't create a user with our name. So that means there's still something wrong somewhere. We're going to go back to that. This wasn't here before. I'm so sure of it. Okay. Realized that it was giving us Iran, but the thing is, it was giving us new user. Basically because of giving us new user. Basically because of what we put in there. So you would come across, so it ran, it was successfully, but it created new user instead of creating the Jack.Candice. So then I was trying to do some other things, and then it got out this error. So I came to how to resolve that. You would just look at your codes and see what exactly it is. Now if you look at this, I see the inputs. You will see that okay, there's a Jack Candice here. The body nickname is giving us J Candice. This is password, but it was giving us that same u.user@treasures.org.ng. And because u.user already exists, it tells me that user principal name already exists. But I do not want it to give me u.user. I want it to give me j.candice or J Candice, something like that, at treasures.org.ng. So what I did, just click on edit here. If you look at my display name, before I was putting in this as a display name. Note that this is a different thing, so it wouldn't run smoothly because this was used for a SharePoint list, and I skipped some other process like the compose process. The get item process is not in this one. This is just when a new response is submitted, get response details. And this one is when an item is created, get item, but this is just get response details. And then I said just come to create user. I could have said okay, compose is going to tell me what the expression is after it gets the items, or gets what I did here, which is get response details, right? So I changed the display name. The display name was supposed to be what I put here, but I decided that I wouldn't use this, and I changed that to, I'm just gonna delete this. I changed that to a dynamic expression, dynamic content instead of the expression. So I just picked the first name, pick this again, set dynamic content, and pick the last name. The display name is the first name and the last name, and then I went ahead to change this mail nickname to substring, get response, the body 01, and this. Now how I got this, you could use any AI tool to get this, but I'm going to be pasting this expression. I'm going to be pasting these expressions in the YouTube comment section. I'm going to be pasting the GitHub repository for the automation with Microsoft list, and I'm going to be pasting these expressions that I use in the mail nickname and the user principal name. I'm going to be pasting it. I'm going to be pasting it in the comment section. So you can check for the comment section of this, and you can just do copy and paste. But note that you have to change your domain name because the domain is totally different. And if you're going to be doing copy and paste, your form has to look exactly like mine, which is first name, last name, department. Because if you look at it here, you would see it is first name, it is last name. If you look at it here also, okay, this doesn't even think about that, but you would see first name field, last name field, last name. And note that the L and the N are in caps, just like it is in cap in my Microsoft form. So that has to also match with this. So if you decide that you want to do your form exactly like mine, you can go ahead and do this. And like I said before, if you decide that you want extra on your Microsoft Sheet, you can go ahead and do this. But know that if you're adding extra, you're going to be doing extra things here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another first name and last name department, and I'm going to try and create that user. So I'm going to use Kolawole Adeoye, and I would say its department is in the finance department, and I'll say is a billing officer, and I'll say its manager is I think that I have a 2B in my organization. I'm just gonna put that doesn't look right, and I'm gonna leave this empty, and I would go ahead and submit. While I submit, I'm gonna do test, and I'm gonna do manually, and I'll do save and test. So it says the flow ran successfully. The user was created. If you see the create user here, you see Kolawole Adeoye, K Adeoye at treasures.org.ng, and if you look at the add user to group, you see show raw input, you see connection, add user to group, and all that. So I'm going to go to my admin center. I'm going to refresh this. Now can you see? Now previously I had created Jack Candice and I didn't do anything. Now can you see that Kolawole Adeoye has been created and I didn't even have to do anything. It has the Office 365 E3 license. I didn't have to do anything. I was able to create the user with the same name format that I wanted, K Adeoye at treasures.org. Now the name format might be different from what you use in your own organization, so that means you have to edit. Let me just go back and click on edit here so you can see what I'm talking about. So that means you have to edit all this. You have to edit this user principal name, because the user principal name is saying that it should give me that. You see that the VPN, which is also username, is giving me kadeoye@treasures.com. Now notice that this came Kolawole Adeoye, so you might need some space to put in that. And also you can as well edit this here, right? So maybe with the way I kept the name, so I could do, sorry, put a space here and I save changes and then it's done. But if I don't want to do all this merry-go-round mobile bush, you can still come back here and fix the expression. Is actually everything is in the create user format. So that happened because there was no space between here. I just said first name, username. I'm supposed to like put a space here. So we're gonna do that for another first name, last name. So it's supposed to be like this, and then I'll save. Okay. And then when I click on submit another response, and I really don't have any username in my head right now. When I click on submit another response, you would see that it's going to put that not jam-packed together, not packed together. It's going to give you the space just like it did for this one. You know, I had to change that. I had to remove it and put it so that you'd see how to do that. But it's not my fault to put an expression, an expression here, like expression. You could just do dynamic content and choose what you want to show as a display name. And since what I want is my first name and last name, that's it. So guys, I hope that you are able to learn something from this video, even though we encountered some of these errors. Note that these are errors you might encounter when you're building your own, but the role of an IT person, or the soft skill of an IT person, is to always do research, always understand where the issue is coming from. You would see, just read on the code, read the error code, and you would get to understand that, okay, this is the reason why I'm having this issue, and this is the reason why I'm having this, and be able to troubleshoot, be able to make research and fix the issue yourself. So your own might not be the way my own is. You might have some other things you want to put in your own. You might decide to mirror the access of another user, so that the person might be having the access for that user. If I decide to mirror David's access, that means Kolawole will be having all the access that David has. Well, I didn't do that in this video because I didn't want it to be very, very long, because that's going to take so much time, and I didn't want to do that. So thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please share, please turn on the push notification and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can either drop me a comment if you encounter any error while doing yours, and we could work together on that app. I'm always available to that. And also, I would say you should implement this in your own organization. Not every time you have to come here and type in. Imagine if the HR is hiring like let's say 20 people, and then, or let's say 10 people, and then you have to like always put it in the system, this, that. You get tired. But once the HR has filled that form, the Power Automate do all that for you. The only thing you get to do that is left is just set up the user's laptop and you're good to go. Thank you guys for watching. Bye for now.